Right. Anybody out there today? Hello. You guys make sure to say hi. We're logging in. We're about to we'll start here in just a minute. Uh, Hope everybody had a good weekend. It's kind of a rainy weekend. Maybe you guys rested. Yesterday afternoon, it was a little bit. Sunday was a little bit nicer. So my wife and I went out for a walk, an extended walk. We've gone for about an hour. Um, it was good. Let's see. We got about 3 more minutes. Then I'll begin. If you're here, just please make sure that you're saying hi so I know who's here. Maybe I'm just talking to myself. I don't know. My wife and I, we went out to the lake, and it was rainy out there. Went and had some seafood at a place out there, trying to help the local economy and eat out every now and then. Had some fish and shrimp. Have you guys been eating out, picking up curbside? We do that every now and then. Kind of get away from the grocery stores. Getting a little tired of going to the grocery stores, to be honest. Um, got about 2 more minutes. Well, Monday is when I normally have kindergarten, and whenever if you were one of my students, Monday afternoons is when you would come, Miss Carpenter or Miss Lavelle, and so I was thinking about trying to keep the somewhat of a schedule, but not too much. If you guys, some people like to log in every single day, and then other people do this at home and do art supplies or do art projects at home. Again, if you'd like to be one of those people that does it every single day, that's fantastic. I'm happy to have you here. If you're one of those people that does not, well, hey, Nam, how are you doing? Glad you made it. Uh, we are going to be doing a few projects today. If you were to get maybe 4 pieces of paper, you might do all 4, or you might do just one, but we'll see. Had kind of a crazy start to my Monday. I started 7th grade teaching at 8:30, and then my wife came upstairs and told me that our dog was having a seizure. So that was a bit scary. He's had those before, but it's been a little bit of a while. He's okay now, but had to give him a bath and give him some TLC and talk to the vet. And it's kind of scary. I didn't know if the vet was even open during this time. So, but vets are open. So if you have any pets and you have any problems with them, you can certainly go and take them to the vet. Then I dropped my phone. I was all worried, and I dropped my phone and cracked the screen. So I got to go and find a place that's open and fix that. So it's been kind of a crazy start. I know that I have said that I do these lessons for you guys, but I also miss the interaction and kind of talking to you guys, helps keep me sane. So anyway, so I'm going to get started today. What we're going to do is we're going to look at 4 different artists. I'm going to turn off the lights and then I'll show you the artists here. So. Our first one is going to be Lisa. Please don't do that right now. First one is going to be Joseph Albers. It's a square inside of a square inside of a square. It has to do. Joseph Albers was known as the father of color theory. He was a European artist that escaped Europe, escaped the Nazis in the 20th century or mid 20th century, and ended up teaching at a university called Yale, teaching color theory. It's very, very basic squares and squares inside of squares inside of squares, but still overall outstanding. Our next artist is Frank Stella. Now, if you've ever been to the San Antonio Museum of Art, San Antonio Museum of Art we'll pop this, the glare will go away here shortly, I promise. The glare is limiting our look. It's basically the entire spectrum of purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, red, magenta. Fantastic pieces. This was all in the link. And then our next piece will involve Sonia Delaunay. Holy cow, that's just really quite glary. Circles of different colors. And then our final one is going to be Wassily Kandinsky. There you go. There, it's a little bit better. Wassily Kandinsky is also an abstract. All of these paintings are modern minimalist abstract paintings. Abstract art is art that doesn't really have meaning, but it's just supposed to represent form. We talked a little bit about that last week. So what we're going to do today is we're going to start off with Albers, yellow, orange, dark orange, and red. I'm going to go on to Frank Stella, which is kind of a rainbow piece. I'm going to go Sonia Delaunay, and then finally I'm going to do the Kandinsky. 4 artists that lived in different times, lived in different places, but had a similar kind of look to it. So I'm going to start off with 4 squares. So if you feel like you want to just do one, that's great. If you want to do all 4, that's great as well. And if you want to do somewhere in between, that's even better. All right, I'm going to turn the lights on. I'm going to move my stuff I moved the camera to my easel. I got my paper all set up. Let me get my glasses on. Has anybody ever heard of these artists before? Ma'am, have you heard of this artist before? I'm going to have my paper be portrait style. I'm going to start off with a very, very bright yellow. All I'm doing is just painting a square. And this is a very bright yellow. Then I'm going to go with a deep yellow. Now a square has 4 sides, horizontal, 2 horizontal lines and 2 vertical. Does it have to be right in the middle? No, it does not need to be right in the middle. Does it have to be the same size? No, it does not. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this even a little bit wider. Now I'm going to go with some orange. If you don't, I'm using acrylic paint here. Now, if you wanted to do marker, you certainly can. The idea is to work on horizontal and vertical lines. Coming up with those corners, really nice. Now I'm going to go with red. Might even add a little bit of purple to it. Bring out the deeper tones to it. The thing I like about this particular artist is it's very, very basic, very simple, but when you put it into a frame, it looks really super nice. Again, I'm using acrylic paint, but if you have markers, that's okay. Watercolors look nice as well. Tempera. Some people have actually done some colored pencils. Dip that. And maybe do it like our clay units where we have 3 coat pieces here. So we have bright yellow, yellow orange, true orange, and then red. We have a nice little Joseph Albers inspiration piece. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Very nice. All right, I'm gonna take this off. Oh, before I finish, I'm gonna just dab this up here as well. So I've got my Albers piece. There you go. I'm gonna do now my Frank Stella. And Frank Stella was the one that had like kind of a rainbow piece to it that I liked a lot. square inside of a square, inside of a square, inside of a square, inside of a square. I'm going to use a different brush. I'm still going to start off here. Okay, I'm going to go with red. Start off in the center here. If you start off small, you can just build it out, making like a little line around it. So then what I'm going to do is around that square, I'm going to take a smaller brush and I'm just going to do an outline. And that outline, the fancy name for an outline is called a stroke. I have a thick stroke around it. So just like you took a birthday Sharpie from school and did an outline. Now I'm going to go with orange. I'm going to try not to get that on the black. So last night I published on the Facebook Live the different projects that we're going to do. Some of them might sound a little familiar, and then some of them might not. We did, in first grade, we did some Pysanky eggs. Pysanky eggs were Ukrainian eggs that were given to special people, and everybody that tunes in to my broadcast, my live stream. You guys are all very special. And you certainly are special. All right. So I have red and then I have orange with a black stroke around it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that deep yellow. Trying my best not to get it in the black paint. Now when you make squares and shapes like this is called concentric shapes. You have that repeating. It almost looks like ripples in water. Almost looks like ripples in water. So I have red, then orange, then yellow. Then I got to go back to black, like so. This artist, his name is Frank Stella. I actually got to see some of his work when I went to New York City a few years ago at the at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. The art is very, very large. We have some canvases that are maybe like 20 feet wide and 10 feet tall. Very big. All right, now I'm going to go and I'm going to use that fluorescent. Oh, darn it, I just took that brush. I need to get a different brush. I'm going to get that fluorescent yellow. And I'm just drawing horizontal lines and vertical lines to make the squares. Now I'm going to I got to do that outline again. I keep forgetting. Man, you're going to have to remind me, but my memory is not where it used to be. Try your best to have a steady hand. You know what would work great for this is if you were to put some tape down and make a straight line, or come back later and then do a second coat. Now I'm going to do green. Man, did you do anything fun this weekend? Well, did you? The Dora the Explorer moment of the day. Now, this is where I would say to you kids, if you were in my class, got to be careful. The doctor's sloppy there. There's some whites that's showing through. So please make sure that you have no white if you're doing this one. When you do stuff like this, some kindergarten kids, younger kids, they might say that this is the colors of the rainbow. And it is the color of the rainbow, but the fancy name for this is the full color spectrum. That is correct, the correct term for art. When you're doing that full color spectrum. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. There is a special way of saying that order. Roy G. Biv. Roy, R-O-Y, red, orange, yellow. G stands for green. Biv, blue, indigo, violet. I don't have the indigo here today, but you get the idea, I think. All right, now I'm going to go on to the blue piece here. Probably should have washed that brush out a little bit better. The green and the blue don't rush. It makes it kind of a bluish green, a teal, if you will. So tomorrow, what I was thinking about doing is, since this weekend is, we have Good Friday and Easter coming up, we could do a thing called the Pysanky eggs. And then on Wednesday, I was thinking about doing some weaving, maybe making an Easter basket. And then on Thursday, we could do this one artist. His name is, he does etches, has done etches, called Dürer, Albrecht Dürer. There's one of a bunny. Starting to come along a little bit. I see that my lines are not the straightest, but nor is my back. So my back is painting sideways. It's a little tough. How's yours coming along, man? I hope it's doing well. Hope it looks good. I'm sure that it does. We had quite a few people that uploaded some artwork over the weekend. I got Nam, I got your stuff. Pia's, McCheese, the Voos, they did their stuff. So I have this nice little square on top of square on top of square on top of square. It would be an aerial view of maybe, say, a Mayan temple or a pyramid, if you will. So, very cool. And then what I would do is I would start over once I get to that. Oh, actually, I gotta do the purple. Forgot about the purple, man. Forgot about the purple. Let me do that purple. Let me do that purple right now. Oh, I want to say I saw Hannah. Hannah did her slice of cake. She actually paper mache that thing. I want to use a little bit bigger brush, better brush than that one. Here you go. This is a little bit better. I think I can get a better line here. What do you think, Nam? Is that better? Can you see that? Probably should have started off with a bigger brush to begin with. But as Bob Ross says, there are no mistakes. There's only happy little accidents, right? Happy little accidents. Now I'm going to go with the black. There you go, a little bit better. Then what I would do, I would come back and start again. This time I'm going to do it with red. I should have done with this brush first from the very beginning. And here you go. I'm going to go back to the black for that stroke. And I have mine a little bit crooked. But again, there are no mistakes, just happy little accidents. So it almost looks like it's spinning. I would probably come back with some more, with a couple of coats there, but you guys get the idea. How is yours coming along? Good. Again, the first artist was Joseph Albers, the father of color. Where do you have Frank Stella that's up next? And he did a series of concentric shapes changing with colors. He did red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and then repeats that pattern again. If I were to do it again, I would do the orange up on top, or I might even just come back and I cut this so it's a square. He also has done lots of different tones where you have light yellows, dark yellows, light oranges, dark oranges. He's done some really cool, did some really cool circles and using some protractors to do that. Again, Frank Stella is the name of this particular artist. Let me grab another board here. Now we have the work of Sonia Delaunay. And Sonia Delaunay primarily, her and her husband primarily worked with circles. Same sort of concept. Same sort of concept, but did it with circles. I have mine be portrait style. I'm going to start off with black just to draw some circles. There's one. Almost kind of looks like a donut. Other circle artists would be like Jasper Johns that did targets. And what he'd like to do is he'd like to split them down the middle. Here. So I have 3 circles that are kind of on top of one another. So now, I've split them down the middle, a couple different ways. So now I'm going to just paint some different parts to it. So let's get that red brush. I'll paint a portion of this over here red. And again, I'm using acrylic paint, but you don't have to use acrylic paint. What you can do is you can use marker. And I've split these down the middle. And I've also made some quarter pieces. The artist here is Sonia Delaunay. Sonia, S-O-N-I-A, like Art Sonia. Delaunay, D-E-L-A-U-N-A-Y. Sonia Delaunay, I'm going to go with a deep yellow. Sonia Delaunay, her and her husband does some really good work too. Or did some really good work. I like I like Sonia's better, but her husband did some really fantastic pieces. And you see, some of these colors are blending together. The blacks and the yellows and oranges are kind of blending together. Yellows and reds, I should say, making this sort of fun spectrum color. I think that looks nice. And this would be one of those that probably come back with another coat of color. I'm going to do some green now. Red and yellow and green. And you don't have to use that green. You can pick whatever colors you want to. Maybe you don't like yellow or red. You want to do it just grays and blacks. Some of you just don't have the colors. I've seen some of my students just doodle and then make shapes and color it in later on. They look kind of nice. I use a bit of a bigger brush here now. Oh, that works nice. The bigger brush was the better choice, I think. But you might not have a bigger brush, so here I am. I don't want to sound like I'm bragging that I have a bigger brush. But I am the artist, I guess. And you just do nice little stages like this. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the Pied Mondrian red, yellow, and blue, white and black lesson with squares and rectangles. If you remember that in first grade, we did that. Oh, yeah, I remember. Mr. Parker, I remember. For those adults in the room, there was a show in the 70s called The Partridge Family, and they had a bus that was made with horizontal and vertical lines in Mondrian style. What do you think? Come along? I'm going to do a purple one up here. Now, if you have paint, what you could do is you could add some white to some of these. This is looking very dark to me with all the paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of white to or a little bit of purple to my white, making a lavender tone. A little bit for the rest of this portion. Almost looks gray. And that's all right. Has a little bit of blue, has a little bit of purple to it. There's a little bit of red to it. Colored periwinkle. So we got a series of different lines and colors that are added here. I think it's come along nicely. If you have working with acrylics, make sure that you're washing off your brush. Washing off your brush is super important. That acrylic turns to plastic, and if you don't wash it, what will happen is the bristles of your brush will harden and you won't be able to use them as best you can. I'm going to do some fluorescent yellow here. Mixing that is probably not the best idea. Well, it doesn't make there's no rules on this. And with abstract, I like that there's no rules like this. I want to add a little bit of white to the blue, making a light blue. Let's see if I can lighten this part up a little bit. Almost like a toothpaste color. And I would come back and I would maybe outline some of these lines. I'll add a little bit more to the red. Again, this is Sonia Delaunay. She was an abstract. She's called the mother of abstract. That's what she's, abstraction. She has some really neat pieces. On my webpage there, I have created a few, I've included a few of her pieces of work that I think are really nice. You know, I haven't heard from in a while is the Coreys. I hope you guys are doing well. Here we have, let's see what time it is. We got 1:39. Do we have anybody else that has logged on? Nam, you're the only, well, we got quite a few. We got Pia Costa's here. Oh, excellent. Hi, Costa. How are you doing? Let's see. Let me take my glasses off. Jacob and Hannah are here. Fantastic. The glare is, I love the fact, I did shave. Sorry, I'm seeing these comments. I did shave. Layla is here. Look different with the glasses on. Yeah, I do. I'm a man of mystery. I'm a man of mysteries, Pia, because I can change my look in just a few minutes, whether I take my glasses on or put them off, or take my hat on or take my hat off, or I shave. You've done a face mask. Well, that's a good idea. Nam has made slime. Ah, fantastic. What color slime is it? What color slime do you have? Costa, did you do any of the work? Have you done any pieces? Again, I'm sorry that it's taken me so long to say hi to you guys. The comment section did not move up, and the only person that had commented was Nam. So anyway, so we have done Joseph Albers today. which is this one right here. We have yellow, yellow, orange, red, orange, and red. I'd probably give that a couple different coats to make it look a little bit more solid, not so Dr. Sloppy, as you know. As you know, I like to say. We did the Frank Stella one, and that was the red square with a black outline on it. Oh, you did white slime. Oh, cool. That was all the colors of the spectrum. We made squares, concentric shapes, using horizontal lines and vertical lines. I have a friend that's an art teacher, and she was teaching how she did different lines, and she was talking about doing cheers, like she was pretending that she was a cheerleader, or she was a cheerleader when she was younger, and she would go vertical lines, vertical lines, vertical lines, horizontal, horizontal, horizontal. So that was fun. But that was the Frank Stella piece, and then this one we just did was Sonia Delaunay. Now, what we can do in this last one is Wassily Kandinsky. Wassily Kandinsky is one that would just do color shapes. So if you think of the color wheel, it's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. You're wanting to do colors. You're wanting to do colors of that are color families. So warm colors would be red, orange, and yellow. Cool colors would be green, blue, and violet. And then there's these things that are called analogous colors. So you have violet, red, and orange, three colors that are side by side by side. Those are really, really nice looking. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm not going to paint. I don't know if my back can handle that. But I'm going to use some oil pastels. I'll do this right in front of you and then show you. So we're going to draw a vertical line just down the middle of that paper, just like that. Now, that is not the best vertical line, but of course I am painting blind. So I'm going to break this up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 different, we're going to call these columns. A column is a section that goes up and down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make horizontal lines. We're going to make those rows. Here you go. See how that is? It's like a nice little grid. Then on top of each one, in each one of those squares or rectangles, I'm going to draw a circle and a circle, like a donut. If you thought of the Wayne Thiebaud piece there with the dessert artist with the cakes, so think of this as like different colored donuts. But I'm going to do one in red, and then I'll do one in green, and then I'll do one in blue, and then so think of a dozen donuts, not a baker's dozen, but a dozen donuts. And then what you do is you would color inside that donut, and then you would color outside that donut. This artist is Wassily Kandinsky. I like Kandinsky a lot. Not because he's making donuts. So today's artist, what we talked about first Joseph Albers, the father of color. He was the one that did square on top of square on top of square. And then we did Frank Stella. modern day minimalist. He is all over New York City and all his stuff. If you go to the San Antonio Museum of Art, whenever that does open up again, you can check his stuff out. It's super cool. So there, when I have that color family right there, I have blue, light blue, and then lavender. Getting a lot of lavender today. Now on this one, I'm going to go with that deep yellow. Then we got red, or this is really more of an orange. Yeah, I'll put some orange. This is really more of an orange. Costa, how you doing, man? You doing okay? How's your dad? What's your dad think of the women's basketball coach at Texas, that new hire? I think he's pretty good, even though he's an Aggie. Some of my best friends are Aggies, so I'd kid. I kid, it's done out of love. There you go. There's a nice one right there. Now, I would say, Nam, you tell me, what would I say on this color job? Dr. Sloppy, right? We have white showing through. Don't be like Mr. Parker here. Use him as inspiration. Be better than that. So this one I'm going to do gold on the outside. Now again, this is kind of concentric shapes. We have those circle. We have a repeating repetition. We have the unity of all the same sort of shapes, but then different colors. There's some variety in there. I've got yellow, I've got green, and then I've got dark green, like so. You guys doing okay? Up here, but I do brown. I haven't done brown yet. Oh, yeah, this is brown. This is more of a tan tone. And I'll throw blue in there. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, it's kind of a crazy morning. For crazy morning at the Parker house. We had my dog Baxter. We talked about. I saw pictures of him. He had a seizure earlier today, and it scared us. We had to call the vet, and I think he's okay, but he is getting old. So I'm gonna use this purple. And then I'll do blue on top. Oh, that won't do blue. I'll do black. I don't have a black one there. So I have not done the Art Sonia project yet. I was planning on doing that second period, but this will be called abstract. Okay, it'll be 11 abstract. And no matter what you did, whether you did Albers or you did Stella, yeah, I hope he will too. Yeah, he's doing okay. Yeah, just kind of crazy. It's been a crazy year, to say the least. But you know what? It's nice to have friends like you guys for support. I appreciate it. So again, for me, this Kandinsky almost looks like Easter eggs. And again, so tomorrow what we'll do is we're going to do some Pysanky eggs. It's a Ukrainian tradition. I believe it started by their king, that he would give special guests or friends of the crown these wonderful huge eggs, and they would be decorated. I'll show you some tomorrow. If you were in my class, I think you may have done that. I did that with some classes, and then sometimes I did not. But um, how many people are doing just one? How many people just did just one lesson, one of these projects? Or maybe you did. How many people did two? Who is this? Oh, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, one of my dearest friends, her name is Irma Yaturi. I taught art in first grade, and she was a PE coach, and she was really, really good at it. And she put up with my sense of humor, because that's what friends do. And she would make me smile. And I would make her laugh, because that's what friends do. There was this one time, you did all of them. Good job, Pia. So this is kind of crazy. So let me tell you this story. True story. And Irma, you can chime in if you want to. I had this one student, and she was a little silly, and she thought she was a dolphin. Oh, it's okay. You can come back. That's the thing. You can come back and you can do your artwork. Keep working on it, Pia. It'll be great. So this one kid, she thought she was a dolphin. She wanted to be a dolphin. And all she did was just draw pictures of these dolphins all the time. And I have some students now that think that they're cats, and they purr a lot. And I don't know why that is, but sometimes you just want to think that you're a cat, something else. And so anyway, this one buddy of mine, this other teacher, he went up to her and asked her how she was doing. I think her name was Kristen. I think it was Kristen or Christy or something. And she didn't like him. She liked me, and she liked Irma there. But so then she just bit him. She's like, "I'm no longer a dolphin. I'm a shark." And we were like, "What are you doing?" Well, I was a shark that day. She had teeth marks on them. Or he had teeth marks on his arm. So, Kristen, yeah. Guys, sometimes teachers have stories, and it's just the way it is. That was a year for sure. So, is anybody going to be decorating any Easter eggs? Going to be decorating Easter eggs this week? If you can find them. Eggs are fun. Hard to find. See, now it's starting to come. It looks a little bit. Oh, here. Oh, darn it. Here you go. You've already done eggs. You've done your eggs already, Pia? Navroz. Oh, is that a holiday? Is that an Indian holiday? I don't know what Navroz is. Anyway, so that dolphin story, that was, I don't know, that was maybe like 20 years ago. 18. Persian New Year. Oh, you learn something new every day. I did not know. Persian. Yeah, there you go. I have some friends that are Persian. Are you Persian, Pia? Some good food. Persian food is really good. Oh, again, I keep learning new things. So here you go. Starting to come along nicely. Again, Dr. Sloppy. I would have to come back and I would say, Mr. Parker, that's it's a weak effort. But we're running out of time here. What do you think? Do you like me without the beard, or do you like the beard better? My wife seems to like the beard. She likes a 3 or 4 day beard. So maybe by Friday this will be all ready to go. I don't know. Pia says with the beard. All right. Well, in actuality, all of this was just an accident. I was shaving my beard, kind of cleaning up, and then I took like a big spot out of it. So my hair grows fast, at least on my face. So anyway, we've got 4 projects. First one, Joseph Albers. Second one was Frank Stella. Third one with the circles, Sonia Delaunay. And then this one was Silly Kandinsky. I'll finish this up and I'll create the Art Sonia piece project. You can upload it to Art Sonia if you so choose, or you can take a picture of it, put it in Seesaw. I'll see it. You know, Cooper and Kinsey, you guys are doing some fantastic stuff, by the way. And Madison and Mason, you guys are doing great. You like the real beard, not the fake one. Oh, the Bob Ross. So I was thinking on Wednesdays, maybe having way back Wednesdays and doing that Bob Ross beard and wig. Maybe get more than one wear out of it. So here we go. Here's my Kandinsky. Not too shabby. So I hope you enjoyed today's 4-part piece. We are going to, tomorrow we're going to do the Paisenki eggs. We'll be doing some zigzag lines, horizontal lines. We'll talk about patterns and color pieces. So if you have watercolors, that would be a good unit, good project to use watercolors on, or oil pastels. Second, or then on Wednesday, we're going to do weaving. So if you have construction paper, we've done it with construction paper, or if you want to paint paper beforehand and use that, that's always fun. I'll probably do that. I'll probably paint some paper and then we can weave it together. I love that. Get your scissors and glue ready. And then On Thursday, we're going to do the Albrecht Dürer engraving. If you have styrofoam, that would be kind of fun. Or you can actually do some some printmaking. And then Friday, it's Good Friday, so we don't have school. Anybody that I won't be broadcasting on Friday, but anyway. So with that, it's 2:01. Been here an hour, and I think it's been a successful piece. I dropped a painting on my hardwood floor, so I'm probably going to have to go clean that up before that gets on there. And so hope you had a good time, and hope you enjoyed all the abstract projects. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Hope you have a nice evening, and get outside and go do something fun. All right? Love you. See you tomorrow. Bye, Nan. Bye, guys.